In Singapore, reminders of the law are everywhere. Security cameras help to police this city-state, and strict rules ensure the country's famously low levels of crime. But punishments can be severe. Naziri bin Lajim was hanged last year. He was sentenced to death for drug trafficking after being found with about 33 grams of heroin.
On the eve of his death, I kept on fighting, appealing to the president, but they don't care about it. They still hang my brother.
Naziri was one of 11 men executed in Singapore last year. Activists believe around 50 people are awaiting execution. Naziri's sister wants the government policy to change.
Please abolish the death penalty and put them into life sentence.
Many of the visitors to this ultra-modern city-state might be somewhat surprised to discover that some criminals are still hanged here. And it leaves this country as part of a diminishing group. Amnesty International says that Singapore was one of just 4 countries in the world last year where drug-related executions were confirmed.
The Singapore government says the death penalty is an effective deterrent and ensures that their country remains safe. But their nearest neighbours, Malaysia, are taking a different approach. Earlier this year, lawmakers there voted to remove the mandatory death penalty for a number of serious crimes. But could that make any difference to Singapore's policies?
I would expect the immediate reaction would be to reject it as much as they can before looking at it and say, okay, let's look at what the impact has been and see whether that means anything to us at all.
In nearby Thailand, notoriously tough drug laws are softening, with marijuana shops now a common sight. It's a stark contrast to Singapore.
I don't think it's translated to a lot of widespread support for decriminalization, but at least there's this question of, isn't executing them a bit too much?
Activist groups have led small protests in Singapore calling for executions to stop. They say they're starting to see a shift in mindset. But the government shows little sign of changing its stance. It likely means more heartache for the families of death row prisoners.
I sit down, I think of my brother, how he was hanged. I cried so much to imagine that how my brother was hanged. He'd be very, very painful. He's a healthy man, a 60-year-old man. You hang an old man, what for? What do you get?
Adam Hancock, TRT World, Singapore.